Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and it's Saturday, which means it's UFO News Day, and I'm live today, impromptu live stream. So, got quite a bit of news today, sort of. So, let's just get into it, the intro, and then we can start, can't we? Right, I'm back. Right. Apologies if you hear some noises in the background. I don't know if my microphone's sensitive enough to pick up. I've got the washing machine on in the next room. So if you hear loads of going on, it's the washing machine spinning. Because, a housewife's work is never done, and I'm the housewife in question. Right, UFO news. Let's have a look. We'll just get on with it, shall we? There we go. First up. Where is it? There we go. By the way, I've got some stories and some videos to look at. They're not the most amazing things, but they're interesting. So let's have a look. Anyway, right, first up from Yahoo News, as usual, all the links are in the description below, and don't forget up there in the corner, like and subscribe, share the videos. Drop a comment. If you're watching live, there's nobody watching live yet, but, what the heck. Drop a chat, a message in the live chat. And also there's me names for the, what they call them, social medias, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all that stuff. And this will be going up, and when I get a copy of this, I'll be converting it to audio, probably, and putting it on my Spotify and Anchor.fm and all that. Well, Anchor.fm automatically puts it onto Spotify and Amazon Music and Google Play. Anyway, right, here we go. So, there. UFO sightings to be studied by former astronaut and hand-picked NASA group. The United States Space Agency announced it has selected 16 individuals to participate in the much-awaited study of unidentified aerial phenomena, or what are more commonly referred to as UFOs. The team will kick off the study Monday and is scheduled to spend 9 months reviewing previous observations and determining how to analyse data on future events. Remember, this is the $100,000 9-month study. They're not going to get a lot done, are they? But NASA spends more than that on coffee, in 9 months. Anyway, the study will not determine if past reports of UFOs were legitimate, but will pave the way for understanding what observations will be needed in future events to better understand the phenomena. Exploring the unknown in space and the atmosphere is at the heart of who we are at NASA. Thomas Zurbuchen, apologies if I'm mispronouncing that, an associate administrator at NASA, said in a statement, "Understanding the data we have surrounding unidentified aerial phenomena is critical to helping us draw scientific conclusions about what is happening in our skies. Data is the language of scientists and makes the unexplainable explainable." Most of the time. The members come from various backgrounds and includes former astronaut Scott Kelly. Kelly served as a pilot of Space Shuttle Discovery and once held the record for spending the most days in space. Kelly has long believed that UFO sightings from Earth are not any type of alien-related event, but told Fox News in 2018 that there is likely life beyond Earth. So slightly biased there, Why don't you just say, I don't know either way, But no, he's got to say he doesn't believe it's aliens. Anyway, I think there is probably life in the universe, hopefully intelligent life, but I don't think they visit planet Earth, Kelly said. NASA has brought together some of the world's leading scientists, data and artificial intelligence practitioners, aerospace safety experts, all with a specific charge, which is to tell us how to apply the full focus of science and data to UAP. They won't say UFOs, will they? Evans stated. Who's Evans? Evans. We haven't mentioned him. We mentioned the Zurbuchen chap and Scott Kelly, but who's Evans? I don't know. He's a mystery man. Anyway, the findings will be released to the public in conjunction with NASA's principle of transparency, openness, and scientific integrity. I haven't missed it, have I? No, Scott Kelly. No mention of Evans. Who the heck is Evans? He's a mystery person at NASA. Anyway, maybe it'll tell us in a minute. Where were we? Right, here we go. NASA believes studying unidentified flying objects is essential for both air safety and national security. The agency said without having access to needed data, it is nearly impossible to verify a sighting and determine what's behind the mystery. The independent group is only one part of several ongoing missions that are constantly working to find signs of life in the universe. Remember, techno-signatures, that word from a couple of weeks ago. The group's independent findings are not expected to be released before mid-2023. And then there's some comments, but we won't go into them. Right, so that's that one. This NASA study it's going to be a waste of time, isn't it? It's just it's lip service. That's what it is. It's lip service. Right, we'll have a video next from our friends at Third Phase of Moon. Sorry, that was a genuine clear in my throat. I'm a bit hoarse. Sip of cough. Don't forget, like and subscribe to Third Phase of Moon. Where are we? There we go. There they are. Third Phase of Moon. So you have subscribed, and you can join their channel as well. So give them a follow. I know I use them a lot, but I subscribe to them, and they do post quite a lot of UFO sightings. Decent ones, not just obvious CG ones or whatever. I mean, this could be for all I know. Anyway, let's have a listen. This is a military helicopter surrounds UFOs. Blah blah blah. Right. As we'll see, this bright light here is the UFO, I do believe, and we see there's a dark blob in front, and there's one behind. I think they're supposed to be the helicopters. And then as you look down at the bottom of the picture, there seems to be some sort of light coming down and illuminating the ground as this object, this orb, moves across. But and I don't think they mentioned that. But we'll have a listen anyway. So hear what they've got to say.
Back to the archive of Third Phase of Moon and go over some of the evidence that's been submitted. UFOs, helicopters, you name it. It's a big world out there, and people are having their eyes on the skies. Watch this stuff.
Is it real? Is it CG? Don't know. The light remains there at the bottom even when it passes into the cloud, which is that a bit of a giveaway. Maybe it just goes behind the cloud. Anyway, so that's that one. That's very interesting. I don't know where that's from. They don't say. I don't know. Does it say in the description? Let's have a look. This was captured over Sao Paulo in Brazil. Oh no, that's a different one. That's a different one. Yeah, I don't know. Because the one earlier on with the red UFO that I think it's probably a balloon or a drone or whatever. That one, I don't know.
This is awesome stuff. I want to thank the Hidden Underbelly who shared this with us today. He actually grabbed permission from the...
It's not exactly doing anything amazing. It's just there. So it could be a balloon with lights on. I don't know. So anyway, so that's interesting. That's it. I don't know about this one when I get back to it. Let's see the... and they pull up a radar, air traffic control track, and it shows the two helicopters and... I can't find it. There we go. Shows the two helicopters, but not the, the UFO. So is it real? I don't know. Let's have a look at a wider shot again. It shows the ground. Here we go. And as you can see, when you press
over
play,
a major population,
there's a light there at the
question.
bottom.
Maybe they're getting
But it's
everybody
still there.
ready. Let's see what Jeremy has to say. I know he has some follow-ups on this, and he's been doing some investigation.
But yeah, I don't know. That's interesting. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one, is that? Right, we'll go to another video. This is from Secure Team, Tyler at Secure Team. And this one, I think, is not real. I think this is a fake. But I'll let you decide. Let's have a play, see what Tyler's got to say.
Where we have what appears to be a dash cam on, yet another sort of nighttime desolate road, and yet again where another mysterious UFO encounter occurs.
By the way, don't forget to subscribe to Secure Team as well. Could be fake. Oh, is it just an aeroplane or a helicopter? I don't know, because there's no audio apart from the music that they put on over it. You could argue it's not moving in the flashing lights. Look, it's not moving in like a non-ballistic motion. It could be a low-flying aeroplane or a helicopter. Probably an aeroplane. It looks like to me. Yeah, that's what I think. I think that is an aeroplane. Somebody flying low in an aeroplane. I bet if they had the audio up, you'd probably hear it going meow as it went over. I mean, probably, not a big aeroplane, obviously, a small one, like a crop dusting aeroplane or a small private jet or something. Somebody flying low for whatever reason. Maybe there's an airport nearby. Don't know. Maybe it's coming in for a landing. Don't know. Because there's no information. There's no information about it. So there you go. Either that or it's a fake. It's CGI. I don't know. Because you can see it banks around and then comes and flies over. And people say, oh, it's a flying triangle. It's a TR-3B. Don't think so. I don't think so. Sorry for being, sceptical. I don't know what this one is. This is just a red light in the sky. Is it the moon? Don't know. And then show some other weather phenomena. Square clouds, stuff like that. I mean, weird things happen in the sky, don't they? Don't mean that it's all aliens. It could be HARP, It's another good excuse, which is valid. But like I said, the weather does weird things, doesn't it? And that's obviously that's a Starlink train, isn't it? Right, so there you go. On to another news story. Congressman, government engaged in UFO cover-up. In May, the House Intelligence... Can you read that? No, I've got to move that over. I don't know. There we go. Right, where were we? In May, the House Intelligence Subcommittee held its first congressional hearing on UFOs in nearly 50 years. Just months after the Pentagon promised it would investigate UFO sightings more seriously. All of that came after the New York Times published cockpit footage from a Navy pilot who encountered a UFO, or unidentified aerial phenomenon, as they are formally called, in the air. The Pentagon then said it would make more UAP footage public, but the government has still not released... Sorry, I was just making sure it was still on the screen. But the government has still not released any finding as to what the objects were, or if they have any information or a hunch at all that the objects may have origins outside of Earth. Representative Tim Burchett, Republican Tennessee, however, believes the government does have more information than it is telling the public. I think it's the biggest cover-up we've ever seen, Burchett said Thursday on News Nations. On News Nations On Balance with Leland Vittert. The Intelligence Committee reviewed it, and I was asked afterwards what I thought about it, and I said, we got hosed. The American public did. We got hosed. We got hosed. Anyway, Burchett said there's information not being disclosed, and he says this confidently, claiming he has talked to multiple Navy pilots who have encountered objects while flying that they have absolutely no explanation for, something Burchett says is absolutely a security risk. If we have something in our military air zone that we do not control, dadgummit. Sorry, I love Americans. Dadgummit, we better be concerned, Birchett said. And of course the question is it the Russians? Well, if it was the Russians, you know Putin's ego, he would land one of the UFOs on the White House lawn, get out bare-chested riding a unicorn, punch the president in the mouth, get back on it and fly back. You know what, that's probably true. That's probably what would actually happen. Apart from the unicorn bit. He'd probably stick a horn on a white horse, wouldn't he? Burgess said the only explanations are one of two things. Either we have captured something and we are reverse engineering, which some Navy pilots I have taught to think that it is, from the so-called skunk works, Burchett said, or it is something from outer space. Burchett doubts it is a skunk work. It is a skunk work, a term used for a top-secret government project, but it's the Lockheed Martin skunk works, isn't it? It is top secret, but it's a place more than a project. However, given the UFOs are defying all laws of physics, and as the former head of the skunk works once said, I've forgotten his name, we've got the capability now to get to the stars. That's what we've got. Literally, if it was one of our pilots in one of those aircraft, I mean, there would be basically a ketchup packet. Burchett said they could not stand the G-force these things are doing. What do they call it now? I forgot this last week as well when I was doing the UFO news. Anyway, these aren't putting off any heat sensors or anything, and there's no friction. Oh, that's it. I think that's it. Yes, it is. There you go. Good old, what's his name again? I forgot. Tim Burchett. Dadgummit. Inertial dampers, that's what I'm thinking of. That's what they must have inside, inertial dampers, so that you don't get mushed with their high G's. Non-ballistic motions, that's today's word, non-ballistic. Right, the Daily Mail. Hang on, I'm at the wrong position. Here we go. Dramatic videos of UFOs over the Pacific are revealed as expert pilots describe seeing bright lights moving in racetrack circles over the summer, but say their employers told them to keep quiet. No point reading that bit because that's just bullet points what's in the article. I'll just be repeating myself. A series of strange UFO incidents over the Pacific Ocean this summer were captured on video and in air traffic control recordings. I'll have to shrink that down a little bit, aren't I? Because it's not fitting on the page for some reason. That better? That better? Have I frozen up? No, I haven't frozen up, have I? Right, is that fitted on now? Are we in? Yeah, I think we're all right now, aren't we? Yeah. Right, start again. A series of strange UFO incidents over the Pacific Ocean this summer were captured on video and in air traffic control recordings after sightings by dozens of pilots. Experienced captains and one former F-18 pilot told DailyMail.com they saw bright lights moving in elongated circles or racetracks for hours high in the sky while they flew on routes from Japan and Hawaii towards the US West Coast in August and September. The incidents were reported to the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, and the researcher obtained dramatic audio of the pilots calling in the strange sightings to Los Angeles Air Route Traffic Control Center, ARTCC. Pilots also attempted to film from their cockpits the group of between 3 and 5 bright objects which appeared to fly around in the area of the sky where the scoop of the Big Dipper constellation sits. Some of the witnesses told DailyMail.com they are now being told by their employers to keep quiet. They are calling for better reporting procedures for encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. And there's a picture that's showing graphics showing the location and dates of the several reported UFO sightings. So there's one there in the middle of the Pacific, another one on the other side of Hawaii, and 3 closer to the coast. Or is there 4 maybe? No, 3. And a couple there over the mainland US. And here's the video. So it's playing. Let's have a look then. So, is there any audio, by the way? No, there's no audio because it don't give you the option for it. So it's just a dot basically in the distance, isn't it? Yes, we can see it. You don't need to put an arrow there. I know it says up there, watch the full video, but if I click on that, it'll do something stupid. I know it will. But yeah, is that it? Is that it? So we're just seeing a dot in the distance. It could be anything, couldn't it? Right,
Okay, there it is.
all right.
And it,
Release audio.
barely see it. Oh, dang it, went away. Right there.
Yeah, we got it. And is your position currently between pivot and flex? We're actually up on the Zulu track.
So everybody's seeing it.
Yeah, we eastbound on the Zulu track, just about 80 miles out of Zulu, but yeah, we see it. Yeah, we're at 330 right over Simmons and we're looking at it. We're right behind Civic. Can you give me a clock code where we should be looking? I know at here's my time clock. We're at the lower right-hand corner of that's part of the device, the lower right-hand corner of the Big Dipper is where it's been hanging out. United 534, we're 30 miles west of Civic. 320 at 20 degrees north of the horizon, and it's probably
There it is.
either the SpaceX satellites or maybe it's the Perseus. There's a Perseus meteor tower this week.
It's not a satellite and it's not a meteor. No, they
Yeah,
are.
these things are not moving like meteors. They're looks like they're orbiting every now and then and changing direction. Wind curve.
Now, at first glance, it looks like the object is just brightening really intense and then dimming, but it doesn't look like there's much movement. The captain said there definitely was movement. All the witnesses were saying these things are moving, and you can see that if we speed this up and then put it in reverse. And here it is here. You're going to see that it makes an arcing pattern. The captain said it was more curved and not linear. There it is in reverse. In this one, you can easily see some of the stars, the Big Dipper, and everyone seemed to indicate they're coming from the bottom right-hand corner of it. Sometimes the objects would just kind of pop up over the horizon, hang out for a bit, and then dip back down. So in this case, we have a reflection of what I think is an iPad in the cockpit there coming off the window. But every so often, they would see things that they believe are meteors, and this probably is. But it lights up underneath the canopy of the clouds or just beyond it in the horizon.
Yeah, there you go. Want to see that? Melissa Benoist, Supergirl. Is that one of the pilots? Yep. There's another video. Racetrack UAPs reported by dozens of pilots and video. So if you want to check that out, the link's in the description. Right, we'll carry on with the article. Two of the pilots can be heard in ARTCC recordings from August 18th, obtained under the Freedom of Information Act by Ben Hansen, a former FBI agent and the host of Discovery Plus show UFO Witness. We've got a few aircraft to our north here, and he's going around in circles much higher altitude than us. Any idea what they are? Mark Hulsey, a pilot flying a Gulfstream charter jet off the Los Angeles coast, radioed in. No, I do not, the baffle controller responded. You're not entering any military airspace or anything, I am not sure. The pilot described seeing maybe 3 aircraft there, then called ARTCC 23 minutes later, stating there's now like 7 of them, and estimating that they were at least 5 or 10,000 feet above us. Asked to elaborate by the controller, the rattled Hulsey added, they just keep going in circles. I was an F-18 pilot in the Marine Corps. And I'm telling you, I've done many intercepts. I've never seen anything like this. At certain times of day, satellites can reflect the sun and appear to pilots as bright lights in the sky. But the expert aviators say they believe the circular movement and duration of the sightings for some hours, ruled out satellites. Chris Van Voorhis, some great names, don't they? 63, told DailyMail.com, he saw between 3 and 5 objects far brighter than the stars around them, fading in and out with no discernible pattern and moving in a racetrack circular motion while he was flying from Honolulu to Los Angeles in August. Van Voorhis, who has been flying since he was 14 and has 32,000 hours experience, said the objects appeared to be in Earth's orbit or even further out in space, given their continued position near to the Big Dipper constellation as he flew over the ocean for hours. The other airlines were saying, "Hey, are you seeing what we're seeing?" the veteran pilot said. They were lights that would come on very bright. You would see them move, then they would go out. It had to be in a very, very high orbit, or actually even out in space, quite a ways away from anything that a satellite would be, because every time we were seeing it, it was in the lower right-hand corner of the Big Dipper, no matter where we were in the world. I don't know exactly what that means. It lasted for such a long time that it actually became boring almost. If it was Elon Musk's satellite system, Starlink, or anything like that, then it's going to be moving in a linear fashion, and all of them will be moving in the same direction. These weren't, they were moving in different directions. Van Voorhis said his employer, which DailyMail.com has chosen not to name, told him to cease and desist even mentioning the incident in public, and that he feared his job could be at risk for reporting his sighting. And that's Mark Hulsey in his F-18. Apparently. This image shows the brightness of the UFO compared to the 3 circled stars, which are much dimmer. Oh, see, they're stars. That's the UFO. Is there another one there? Is that another star? Don't know. Hansen has collected accounts of pilots for Southwest Airlines, Hawaiian Airlines, and others between August 6th and September 23rd, who say they saw the same lights in the sky as Van Voorhis. Many of these pilots are very confident that the lights were not just going in one direction, but in both directions, which is very unusual for satellites. In Mark's case, they would go from the north, and then actually go above his craft, where he had to crane his neck to see them from the canopy. It was seen by upwards of 15 different commercial flights, and at least 6 pilots are willing to go on record with their names and everything if asked to do so by any investigative agencies. In this case, we have a global phenomena from as far west as Japan to as far east as possibly Miami. Whatever it is, pilots are seeing it from halfway across the world. But Hansen said there is currently no proper process for reporting such sightings, even of strange objects that could pose a threat to the safety of commercial airlines. Civilian pilots do not have a structured, robust process that is publicly provided to them where they can report UAPs, he told DailyMail.com. The reason the pilots don't report primarily is because they don't think the FAA will follow up, or worse, they will be ridiculed. An FAA spokesman told DailyMail.com, the Federal Aviation Administration documents unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP sightings, whenever a pilot reports one to an air traffic control facility. If the pilot report can be corroborated with supporting information such as radar data, it is shared with the UAP Task Force, a Defense Department unit that investigates UFOs, now officially called the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. Or as I call it, ARROW, because that sounds cool. A 2021 Director of National Intelligence report warned that UAP threaten flight safety and possibly national security due to 11 near misses between naval aviators and unknown objects. Van Voorhis said UFO sightings are quite common among pilots. Out of my pilot friends, at least 50% have seen some type of an anomaly, he said. These stills from videos saying that they're going around in circles and stuff like that. I haven't done yet. His August sighting was not his first. In February 2004, while flying for Japanese airline JALways, he said he and another plane's crew saw 3 discs descend from outside the atmosphere, stop mid-air, and suddenly pivot 30 degrees while keeping their triangular formation and shoot off beyond the horizon at thousands of miles per hour. But he didn't video that one as well, didn't it? Maybe he did. I was coming back from Japan to Honolulu. We were at 39,000 feet coming across the Pacific Ocean. It was 5:30 in the morning local time. Something caught my eye off to the left-hand side of the aircraft. There were 3 large discs, he said. They were high enough up in the atmosphere to be reflecting the light from the sun, which wasn't up yet. They came in a triangular formation and stopped. They turned in formation. They didn't bank or anything like that. Nothing aerodynamic. They just pivoted. And then they took off over the horizon. It wasn't like they accelerated. They were just at speed and gone over the horizon. The whole thing took about 15 seconds. The aircraft in front of us saw it too. They said, "Are you going to tell anybody?" And we said, "No." Gulfstream captain and former F-18 pilot Hulsey's August 18th UFO sighting was by Santa Catalina, an island off the LA coast. See, that's It's a bit of a hot spot, isn't it, Catalina Island? Anyway, famously, US Navy aviators from the aircraft carrier USS Nimitz chased a tic-tac-shaped UFO near Santa Catalina Island in 2004. The tic-tac evaded Top Gun ace Commander David Fravor, manoeuvring and accelerating in ways which seemed to defy the laws of physics. Non-ballistic. It then disappeared before, astonishingly, reappearing 40 miles away in less than 1 minute at the aviator's cap point. I'm sure that means something. I don't know what that means. A rendezvous location only known by the pilot and his commander. All right. In July 2019, in the same area, multiple strange objects harassed US naval warships over several days. The Pentagon claimed they were drones, but could not confirm the origin nor the operators of the craft. A source close to the investigation of the incident told DailyMail.com that a nearby Chinese cargo ship named Bass Strait, thought to be the culprit, was searched with no signs of drones. Oh, and that's it. And lots of comments. Look, people saying they've seen UFOs and stuff. So there you go. That's pilots, experienced pilots and former military pilots seeing UFOs regularly and willing to come forward, which they should. Now then, next up, a bit more light-hearted, this one. I think I want to move this back again now, I have to tell you. Just have a standard thing for your web pages. Right, Netflix series Glitch inspired, by UFO experience of writer's wife. I found this on Netflix. I thought, I'll give it a watch, and it's not for me. I think it's light-hearted. It actually reminds me a bit of Paul, the film Paul with Simon Pegg and his mate. Well, the alien reminded me of that. You see the alien in it, and he's wearing like a baseball helmet thing. Anyway, so it's light-hearted. Right, Netflix series writer, blah, 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 blah. Right, so, October 20th. Netflix's new sci-fi mystery series, Glitch, began as a story about unidentified flying objects, UFOs, and added elements of conspiracy theory and religion to deal with a broad range of contemporary social issues, its writer said. Jin Han Sai wrote Glitch, directed by Ro Diok. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing these, which centres on a young woman who joins forces with a UFO enthusiast to investigate her boyfriend's sudden disappearance and stumbles into a wild conspiracy. The 10-episode series was the second most streamed drama series on Netflix Korea in the first week of its release on October 7th and is now ranked 4th. Following his sensational debut work Extracurricular 2020 on teenage crimes, Jin, or Gin, I don't know, once again captured viewers' attention with an unusual plot about UFO and extraterrestrials that blended crime thriller, pseudo-religion, and women's comradeship. Oh, excuse me. The 37-year-old said he doesn't believe in UFOs, but was struck by the personal experience of his wife, so he doesn't believe his wife then, who claimed she saw a UFO in her early childhood. I had long debates with my wife about whether UFOs exist or not, and the focus was later turned to what to believe, Gin said in a media interview on Wednesday. Although Gin, a Christian, doesn't believe in the conspiracy theory, he occasionally search related materials to find evidence that could prove he's wrong. I think it's weird. Why am I keeping searching UFO? I presume there's some, translation going on here. Why am I keeping searching UFO-related materials while I don't believe in it, he said. In the drama, the main character, Hong Ji-hyo, I presume that's what it's played by, John Yo-bin, randomly sees a green alien and receives mysterious messages from the media. A green alien in a baseball helmet. But can't trust what she sees. Her friend Hong Bo-ra, Nana, is a UFO enthusiast who helps her friend's investigation. The duo tries to unveil secrets of suspicious believers of UFO-based religion who blindly follow the cult religion leader's order to commit crimes and even try to take deadly poison. It's obviously, a play on the reminiscent of the Heaven's Gate cult, because they took poison, didn't they? Believing that there'd be their souls would travel to the a UFO that was following the comet Hale-Bopp. Maybe it did, I don't know. We'll never know. The writer said he got advice, but I'm not suggesting that you do something similar. The writer suggests he got advice from others to develop the plot to make it relevant in today's society and appeal to viewers. I didn't intend to deliver a message. I rather want viewers to take whatever message they get, just like the Lego sets. Just like Lego sets, he said. What? His past 2 drama series used crime scenes to tell compelling stories of fear and danger, but the writer said he wants to portray such emotions with different narratives in future works. I don't want my stories buried in crimes. I want to describe fearful feelings in our daily life, not necessarily relating them to crimes, he said. While there are speculation over the second season of Extracurricular, Ginn said he wants to try teen romance in his upcoming works to try a new style. I'm personally interested in high teen romance, and I've been searching related materials. There's a lot of searching on the related materials, he said, and that's it. Yeah, I might give it another go. Glitch. It's well made. It's a well made series because it's Netflix, isn't it? Everything's got to be kind of, competently done. So I might give it another go. But when I saw the alien in it with the green baseball helmet on, I think it's a baseball helmet. It's a helmet anyway. It kind of put me off a little bit, and I thought, is it going to be hokey? But I might give it another go. So that's that. Right. New territory. America's top aerospace sleuths join UFO hunt. The country's largest... Oh, see, I've got to move this again, haven't I? Right. The country's largest organisation of technical experts has concluded that recent incursions pose a safety hazard to aircraft. And that's obviously an aircraft. It's not a UFO. It's a long exposure photo of a drone. That's what that is. Yeah. Right, America's... Right, I'm just making sure it's all in the screen. Yes, it is. America's top aerospace engineers and scientists are joining forces to protect us from UFOs. The country's largest organisation of government and private sector technical experts is launching a project to study unidentified aerial phenomena after concluding that recent incursions by mysterious craft pose a safety hazard to military and commercial aircraft, according to people involved in the effort. So I'm just making sure we're still going. Yes, we are. The American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics, which includes among its members the country's largest defence and NASA contractors, has established 3 committees to study the technology, how incursions affect pilot and passenger safety, and to coordinate with government agencies and international researchers also focused on the topic. I wonder if they're going to mention that word. Techno-signatures. Anyway, we're stepping in a new territory, said Ryan Graves, a former Navy fighter pilot and defence contractor who is co-chairing AIAA's Unidentified Aerospace Phenomena Community of Interest. Who's co-chairing AIAA. What does AIAA stand for? Have I missed it? Well, the American Institute for Aeronautics and Astronautics. Unidentified Aerospace Phenomena Community of Interest. He's joined by Ravi, Kopparapu. Unbelievable. A planetary scientist at NASA who is studying the potential... it's my fault, I can't pronounce things properly. A planetary scientist, and it's not his fault or her fault, I don't even know. A planetary scientist at NASA who is studying the potential habitability of Earth-like planets. This topic is not for everyone, added Graves, who came forward with his own experience with UFOs hovering over his FA-18 Hornet fighter jet in 2014 and 2015. It is not about forcing people to look into this if they are not ready yet. People have to come to terms with it. But he said that scores of members of the 30,000-strong AIAA, it's a bit better than NASA's, 16 people, drawn from aerospace contractors, government agencies, think tanks and startups, have already signed on to the effort and are super excited about what we are doing. There is more than we can handle right now, he said, describing those who have come forward to lend their expertise as running the gamut from people that have 30-plus years experience, 30 plus years at NASA to non-traditional members from the tech community. What does that mean, non-traditional? We have to take bits from a lot of different things and combine them together in new ways to get answers, he added. The initiative, which was approved by the AIAA Council of Directors, is expected to be announced on Thursday. The move comes as Congress has taken additional steps to compel the Pentagon and intelligence agencies to study UFOs and share what they discover with oversight committees and the public. Among them was the establishment this summer of a more expansive all-domain anomaly resolution office, ARROW, what I call it, at the Pentagon that is also studying unidentified undersea vehicles. NASA also announced its own UAP study in June. Meanwhile, new legislation moving through Congress as part of the annual Defence and Intelligence Policy Bills goes further. The National Defence Authorization Act, passed by the House in July, would establish new procedures for current or former government officials to come forward with any information they may have about UFOs without fear of reprisal. The proposed intelligence bill also directs the Government Accountability Office to undertake a historical recounting of government efforts involving UFOs over the past 75 years, including any recovery of UFO technology or government efforts to spread disinformation about the subject. Good luck with that. The Pentagon is also compiling a report to Congress due at the end of the month on its latest UFO findings. Heavily redacted, no doubt. The report is still scheduled to be submitted to Congress on the 31st. Pentagon spokesman Susan Goff said in an email, but having an established group such as AIAA, founded in 1963 as the principal professional organisation for aerospace scientists and engineers, enter the debate is seen by long-time UFO researchers as a turning point. We were wallowing in the fringe realm, said David Marler, Executive Director of the newly formed National UFO Historical Records Center in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Pardon me. The largest US-based repository of related archives. Excuse me. We need people much smarter than ourselves and from specific disciplines to provide credibility and layers of expertise to look at the data. The AIAA initiative is focused primarily on the flight safety implications of unannounced craft intruding into protected military airspace or travelling dangerously close to commercial flights. Sorry, I thought I had something on myself then. Never mind. Graves cited as an example the 11 near misses since 2019 involving UFOs coming within 500 feet of an aircraft. That Scott Bray, the Deputy Director of Naval Intelligence, reported to Congress in May during its first public hearing on the topic in more than 5 decades. It's almost like seeing a bullet go past you as a pilot, right? Graves said. People have no idea what's going on. It is going to frighten people. The AIAA effort, according to an internal briefing, is being driven by the belief that the uncertainty about UFOs is exposing pilots, passengers and military forces to unaddressed risks. Its mission statement is to improve aviation safety by enhancing scientific knowledge of and mitigating barriers to the study of unidentified aerial phenomena, and it contends that AIAA is singularly situated to serve our government and citizens as a neutral scientific engineering resource. But while the initiative is focused primarily on addressing safety hazards, Graves maintains that the ultimate intent is to learn more about those UFOs that are truly unexplained. The vast majority of reported sightings can be explained, he believes, such as a drone that was carried by a hurricane 500 miles up. Most of it will go into an unexplained bucket at some point, Graves said. Our primary focus is to apply engineering and scientific effort and energy to the anomalous data set. It's not about focusing on adversarial drone programs or drone incursions into military airspace. The new AIAA committee studying the hardware of such unexplained craft has a series of studies underway. It hopes to complete a scientific framework for cataloguing the means for detecting UFOs by the end of the year. And by the end of 2023, it plans to release its first State of Tech report, followed by a peer-reviewed research manuscript in early 2024, detailing the methodologies for evaluating UFOs. I mean, remember though that study from the Ukraine, weren't there, a couple of weeks ago? They used astronomical instruments. They said detected UFOs, but then somebody else has come along. Avi Loeb's come along and poo-pooed them, even though fellow scientists. But anyway, the more people, the more disciplines looking at the subject, Marla said, the better it bodes for the future in terms of getting some semblance of understanding of the mystery. And that's it. So there you go. So that's, like I said, an important, well, I presume it's important, group, scientific group. I forgot what they call it now. Where are we? American Institute of Aeronautics and Astronautics. It does sound very impressive, doesn't it? 30,000 strong, looking into UFOs. So it's pushing the government into action, but I still don't think they'll. They'll do anything about it. Right, another video we've got for you. This one's been in the news. There was a similar one in the UK last week that I said that I believed were an aircraft with fireworks on its wings, as display aircraft, and I think this could be something similar. Why it'd be doing this in the clouds and stuff like that? It's not, and I don't know. But anyway, watch the video.
Flares, maybe. No, they're.
It's from different viewpoints, by the way. It seems. So yeah, I think it's probably. Oh, that was it. I think that was probably.
It's crazy.
One of those aeroplanes with fireworks.
Flares.
What's
maybe?
the official term? Pyrotechnic.
No,
that's it. On the ends of the wings. What I'm doing that for? Doing aerobatic manoeuvres. But there seems to be a lot of that going on lately, doesn't there? But that's the impression I got. That's the simple explanation, isn't it? And, they always say, Occam's razor and all that. That's the simplest explanation. But what do I know? I'm no expert. And it was seen from various angles, various locations. So, it was genuinely something there. So I think it was probably an aeroplane with pyrotechnics. But I'll leave it up to you to decide what you think. I could be wrong. I hope I am. Right, finally. The Liberation Times, exclusive. This is big letters. More UFO hearings are coming as whistleblowers are called forward and legacy programs are verified by Congress. I'm going to have to adjust this again. No, but all right. This is obviously a website designed for me with big text because I'm old. Right, this is written by Christopher Sharp on the 14th of October, so it's from I don't even know what date we're on now. What are we on? 22nd, so 12 days ago. But never mind. Some insiders have told Liberation Times that new UAP whistleblower language could be signed into law in weeks and after upcoming midterm elections. Remember, there's something that they've got until the 31st of October, haven't they? That they've got to do something by, or a report's got to be released by the 31st of October, or something along those lines. Corbell comments, that's Jeremy Corbell, isn't it? There's a documentary filmmaker. The Silver Bullet is coming. Is this just bullet points that we're going to read about? I think it is, isn't it? Right. Liberation Times has learned that new public congressional unidentified aerospace undersea phenomena, UAP, hearings can be expected once National Defence Authorization Act 2023, NDAA, UAP language is signed into law. I think that's what's got to be done by 31st of October, isn't it? Or the report into it has got to be. As reported by Dean Johnson, no relation, I presume, Intelligence Authorization Act, IAA 2023 language is now wrapped up within the NDAA, National Defence Authorization Act, and includes important whistleblower protections. I'm going to have to move this a little bit, aren't I? Tell you. There we go. Sources have told Liberation Times that the NDAA, by the way, I have no idea who Liberation Times is. Are they a reputable website, publication? I have no idea. but they have nice big text. Sources have told Liberation Times that the NDAA could be passed in weeks after upcoming midterm elections in November, although it is cautioned that there are no certainties with regard to the exact timeline due to political divisions, changes in political composition following midterms, and the Ukrainian situation. However, sources have stated that public hearings can be expected after the NDAA is signed into law and that whistleblowers have already been contacted to speak before Congress. Liberation Times understands that the best case scenario could see such hearings occur before Christmas. There's been some doubt whether any whistleblowers testifying could back up their claims. However, Liberation Times understands from multiple political and defence sources that a substantial amount of information involving secretive UAP retrieval and back engineering programs has been verified by Congress. Speaking to Liberation Times, journalist and filmmaker Jeremy Corbell commented, "Regarding the mystery of UFOs, the silver bullet is coming. The moment it is understood by the public that not only have we obtained spacecraft fabricated by a non-human intelligence, but that we have also been attempting to reverse engineer that technology for decades, Pandora's box is finally open. This new legislation to provide amnesty and immunity for those involved in these programs to come forward is a potential game changer. I have personally spoken with numerous individuals who have had roles in these legacy UFO exploitation programs. There have also been reports of a major pushback within some quarters of the DoD, Department of Defence, from those who are against whistleblowers speaking out and further information being made public. Although it now looks like a chain of events has now been put in motion, which may lead to a flurry of information coming forwards. Regarding reprisals, Corbell commented, "The fear has always been reprisals, and that fear has always been justified. Pushback has occurred against these people as recently as this year, and has been predicted. And as has been predicted, the closer public gets to the good stuff, the more the pushback has increased. Make no mistake. The world is creaking under the stress and the weight of the UFO reality. And now we have an opportunity for this truth to be revealed, and our society will forever be changed by it." This is Jeremy Corbell on the Joe Rogan show, looks like it, doesn't it? Great clip grab. Yeah. So if you want to watch that, follow this link. With such information now verified and ongoing frustrations with the UAP All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, ARROW, there is thought to be urgency from Congress to make more information public and answer ongoing questions related to the origin and operators of unidentified craft at a time when reports have escalated since 2021. In July 2022, one Department of Defence insider told Liberation Times that verifiable information has been given. Laws are not written in a vacuum. Behind closed doors, lawmakers have met with current and former government insiders who have provided multi-source and verifiable information that has shaped the language we are seeing today. The wording is very specific, and many who are aware of the history of this subject will immediately understand why January 1st, 1947 is the date to which the Comptroller General must use as day one of their compiled intelligence review and report that is due to Congress. I think that's the one that's by October 31st, I think. At that time, Vice Chair of the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence, Marco Rubio, commented on the importance of the IAA containing whistleblower immunity language, stating, "This year's Senate intelligence reauthorization was approved unanimously and is the most consequential one ever offered." Investigative reporter George Knapp has also commented on the topic of verifiable information provided to Congress. On a recent episode on Coast to Coast AM, he commented, "It is clear that somebody has been sharing information with them. I can tell for sure that there are people who have met with them and have told them not only that there are these legacy programs that have materials, and by materials I don't mean just scraps of metal from the ground, but intact craft, remains, physical remains of beings. These stories have been floating around for a long time. I know that there are a couple of people in particular who know about this stuff down to the point of the buildings where this stuff is stashed. who are willing to come forward if they are protected, and now this legislation indicates they will be protected as whistleblowers, that their security clearances will not be revoked, and it is pretty exciting. It is understood that there are people within the DoD and intelligence community urging that the process of dissemination be accelerated due to escalating tensions between the US and Russia. Such people point to Ronald Reagan's historic speech when he stated that an alien threat could bring nations together. And there it is. Because, it said, for is there not such a threat among us, or something like that. When NDAA language is signed into law, a flurry of activity can be expected relating to the UAP issue once whistleblowers are satisfied that they have protection. Is that it? That's it. Let's have a listen to Ron here.
In our obsession with antagonisms of the moment, we often forget how much unites all the members of humanity. Perhaps we need some outside universal threat to make us recognize this common bound. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war and the threat of war?
There you go. Right, so that's it. That's your news. That's another interesting story. That's from a political perspective that time, rather than a scientific one. So it seems things are happening, aren't there? I think things are happening. Is there an acceleration towards, quote, disclosure? Oh, cracky. Is it going to happen, or is it all just one big lie? People talk about Operation Bluebeam, don't they, and about how it's the UFO and religious things are going to be used as an excuse to bring about, the so-called New World Order. And then, there's talk about, how what's happening in the world now since COVID and all that, and the lockdowns, and countries around the world are just borrowing money from the world banks left, right and centre, and economies are collapsing. Because of this, because of all the payouts they've had to keep people out of work, basically, for a disease that 99% of people wouldn't even realise they caught. But I'm getting too off topic now. But anyway, yeah. So we'll leave it there. I won't get into what I think about all that. What is it now? The Agenda 2030, isn't it? That's what I'm thinking of. We will own nothing and we will love it. That's what we're told by people such as Klaus Schwab at the World Economic Forum and all them. But as I said, I'm getting a bit off topic from UFOs now. But is it all connected? Probably. Everything's connected in it in some way or another. Right. I'm still going. Yes, they haven't pulled me from the air for mentioning that sort of thing. Right, we'll leave it there. I've been going on for nearly an hour now in the live stream. One person dipped in. I saw it. It went up to one viewer for about a minute. But never mind. Thank you, that one person. You obviously didn't like what you were hearing or seeing. And you buggered off again. But we'll leave it there. We will leave it there. So, thank you for watching. If you're watching the replay, none of you are watching live, whatever. But thank you for your attention. And wherever you are in the universe, hang on, where are we? There we go. Sorry, I'm just setting myself up. Wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.